As promised, the most boring story ever, by N. Brad Garrett, and he likes pies. I go to the store. A car is parked. Many cars are parked or moving. Some are blue, some are tan. They have windows. In the store, there are items for sale. These include such things as soap, detergent, magazines, and letters. You can enhance your life with these products. Soap can be used for bathing, be it in a bathtub or in a shower. Apply the soap to your body and rinse. Detergent is used to wash clothes. Place your dirty clothes into a washing machine and add some detergent, as directed on the box. Select the appropriate setting on your washing machine and you should be ready to begin. Magazines are stapled reading material made with glossy paper, and they cover a wide variety of topics, ranging from news and politics to business and stock market information. Some magazines are concerned with more recreational topics, like sport card collecting or different kinds of hairstyles. Lettuce is a vegetable. It is usually green and leafy, and is the main ingredient of salads. You may have an appliance at home that can quickly shred lettuce for use in salads. Lettuce is also used as an optional item for hamburgers and deli sandwiches. Some people even eat lettuce by itself. I have not done this, so you can purchase many types of things at stores. If I drive around, I sometimes notice the houses and buildings all around. There are also pieces of farmland that are very large. Houses can be built from different kinds of material. The most common types are brick, wood, and vinyl or synthetic siding. Houses have lawns that need to be tended. Lawns need to be mowed regularly. Most people will use riding lawnmowers to do this. You can also use a push mower. These come in two varieties, gas-powered and manual. You don't see manual push mowers very much anymore, but they are a good option if you do not want to pollute the air with smoke from gas-powered lawnmowers. I noticed that many families designate the lawn mowing responsibility to a teenager in the household. Many of these teenagers are provided with an allowance for mowing the yard, as well as performing other chores, like taking out trash, washing the dishes, making their beds, and keeping the house organized. Allowances are a small amount of money given by parents to their children, usually on a weekly basis. These usually range from $5 to $15, and sometimes even $20. Many parents feel that teenagers can learn financial responsibility with this system. Now I will talk about farmland. Farmland can be identified by some common features. They almost always consist of a very large patch of dirt with small green plants lined up in very long rows. You may sometimes see farm equipment riding over these rows, like tractors or combines. These machines help farmers grow more crops in less time. They are a very helpful invention. Some different types of crops are soybeans, cotton, corn, tomatoes, tobacco, and lettuce, which I mentioned earlier. Most crops are used as food and can be defined as either fruits or vegetables. Some are commonly eaten raw, after being rinsed in water to remove any dirt. Some are often cooked, which helps give them a more pleasant taste and make them easier to chew. A very versatile vegetable is the potato. It can be eaten raw, or it can be cooked in a variety of ways. They can be baked, and many people like to add butter to them. They can be mashed, and a lot of times brown gravy or milk gravy is poured on top of them. They can be cut into thin strips and fried. Typically, a large amount of grease is required to prepare potatoes in this style, but they are easy to make and easy to eat. You can order them at several fast food restaurants. Potatoes can also be boiled, stewed, and scalloped. There is a wide variety of options available to you when you're cooking potatoes. Some other type of crops grown on farmland are used for other purposes. Cotton is used to make clothing, which I also mentioned earlier. It is a versatile and inexpensive material for clothes. Such items as shirts, pants, socks, and underwear can be made from cotton. The process of converting cotton from a cotton plant to clothing is fairly complicated. Today, cotton is harvested more efficiently through the use of cotton gin invented by Eli Whitney many years ago. Tobacco is another type of crop. It is used in making cigarettes. A lot of people smoke cigarettes, even though many medical sources have identified them as harmful to people's health. Warnings are printed on cigarette packages reminding people of possible dangers resulting from smoking. Cigarettes are available in several brands, including Marlboro, Salem, and Virginia Slims. There is a brand called Cool, but I don't know whether they still have them available at most outlets. Tobacco farming is a large industry and currently there is a debate about it. Recently, the government decided on some regulations that cost tobacco companies a large amount of money. If you notice, some farmlands have animals living on them. Most of these are cows, and there are also pigs, sheep, and goats living on farms. Some are raised for the milk they provide. This milk goes through several processes to ensure that it is not contaminated before it is made available to consumers at stores, which I mentioned earlier. Another use for farm animals is meat. Three popular types of meat are beef, pork, and chicken. Beef comes from cows. Pork comes from pigs. Chicken comes from chickens, but you probably knew that. These animals are raised to become plump and healthy. Then they are killed, sometimes at slaughterhouses. The meat is then removed from their bodies, cleaned, and made available at a variety of stores and restaurants. Sometimes this process can seem gross, but it is a part of an advanced ecological food chain on Earth. Just like birds eat worms and tigers eat deer, human beings eat cows and pigs. The main difference is that we don't eat animals raw. We cook the meat to remove blood, fat, and germs from it. We also season our meat with salt or different kinds of sauces. The end result is food that is very tasty and healthy for us. Farmers do not like trespassers. If a farmer sees one, he will sometimes shoot at them with a shotgun that he owns. Trespassing is against the law. Laws are created by government to prevent people from living in fear. They are meant to provide safety for citizens. Our government in America consists of a legislative branch, an executive branch, and a judicial branch. The legislative branch makes laws based on the concerns of the citizens they represent. The executive branch consists of the president. This person enforces the law, and he has certain other duties like declaring war and approving bills prepared by members of the legislative branch. The president is also considered the leader of our country. The judicial branch interprets the law. This branch consists of the courts and the trials held in them. Here, a judge and jury determine from evidence presented by lawyers whether someone is guilty of breaking a law. Initial law enforcement takes place among police officers. They are the first people to encounter situations where a law is being broken. If a criminal lawbreaker becomes too violent or hostile, they will use guns or mace or nightsticks to administer immediate punishment. Their goal is to bring the criminal under control so that he can receive a punishment determined by members of the judicial branch of government. Punishments mostly include time in jail, but they can also include fines, and in extreme cases, the death penalty. There is a controversy surrounding the death penalty. Children play with toys. This is common to almost all kids. Toys come in a wide variety. Boys tend to like cars, action figures, and toy weapons. Girls tend to like dolls, toy kitchens, and makeup. Both of them like building or assembling things, be it with Legos, blocks, Play-Doh, or something similar. Toys can be found at most stores, and these days entire stores are dedicated to selling only toys. The most popular of these is Toys R Us, with a backwards R. Their mascot is Jeffrey the Giraffe. Children love to go to Toys R Us and look at the wide variety of toys available. Most children receive the greatest quantity of toys on their birthdays or during the holiday season in December. For the majority of children, this holiday is Christmas. For Jewish children, the holiday is Hanukkah. Either way, the kid gets presents during this time, and most of these presents are toys. Christmas is a holiday which has gradually become centered around the character of Santa Claus and his elves and reindeer. Children are told that Santa's elves build their toys, and Santa delivers them personally to each house. Children are told that Santa's elves build their toys and Santa delivers them personally to each house in the world by riding in an airborne sleigh hauled by 9 reindeer, including Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, who leads the way. Another popular Christmas character is Frosty the Snowman. Frosty is basically any snowman that comes to life. So during Christmas, many children build snowmen, and some of them hope that theirs might come to life. But all of these characters are myths. The true origin of Christmas is a celebration of the birth of Jesus, who founded the religion of Christianity a couple of thousands of years ago. Many popular Christmas carols deal with this story, such as Joy to the World and Silent Night. Other holidays include Thanksgiving, Halloween, and Independence Day. Thanksgiving has become a tradition of preparing large quantities of food for a large gathering of people, mainly family and friends. This meal usually features turkey or ham as the main course. Turkey and ham are both kinds of meat, which I mentioned earlier. The meal usually also consists of dressing and a wide variety of assortments of vegetables, which I also mentioned earlier. The origin of Thanksgiving is usually traced to the days of the Pilgrims, who were the first settlers in America. They made peace with the native people, the Indians, and together enjoyed a large feast, thanking God for providing them with such abundance. Their concepts of God were probably very different. Halloween is the holiday when people dress in costumes to look like characters. Most of these are children who go from door to door in different neighborhoods to request candy from the people living there. They usually say trick or treat, then receive a treat. Very rarely does a person in the house respond with trick. Halloween has some sort of demonic origin that I am not quite sure about, but the name derived from All Hallow Eves. I will not say much more about Independence Day, but it is the day Americans celebrate the anniversary of our independence from Britain. Most families purchase firewood during this holiday and set them off in their lawns, which I mentioned earlier. America gained independence from Britain in the late 1700s. After the Revolutionary War, Britain was hoping to extend its empire across the Atlantic Ocean, but the colonists who settled the territory did not want to be under Britain's control, with various taxes and regulations. Both sides were passionate about their position on the issue, so a war occurred. This war featured a few heroes, including George Washington and Paul Revere. George Washington became America's first president when we gained independence. I am not sure what happened to Paul Revere. The Declaration of Independence was written before the war by Thomas Jefferson in 1776 and made clear the position of the colonists. It was signed by many important people, including Ben Franklin and John Hancock. Ben Franklin is well known for many things. One of these is inventing electrical conductors in the form of lightning rods. A famous tale is that he flew a kite with a small piece of metal somewhere on the string during a lightning storm. This was an effective way to test his theory. Another thing Ben Franklin is known for is publishing Poor Richard's Almanac. This was like a magazine, and it contained some of his famous writing and quotations. One famous quote was, "Tell me, I forget. Teach me, I remember. Involve me, I learn." Maybe this had something to do with why he flew that kite. Trees are one of our most important natural resources. They are made of wood, and wood can be made into a variety of products. Some of the more obvious kinds are furniture, houses, and toothpicks. However, wood can also be made into paper. When I first heard this, I was skeptical, but it is true. Paper is a very important product in our society. Writers and artists have greatly benefited from the inventions of paper. With only some paper and a pen or pencil, a writer can produce stories and poems that can captivate readers. They can also write down historical facts about their society. Actually, these writings don't become historical until years later. At the time, the writings could probably be considered news. Artists use paper for their drawings and paintings. They can also use canvas. Drawings and paintings Drawings and paintings can be very beautiful. They can depict a wide variety of subjects including flowers, animals, landscapes, and people. They can be realistic or impressionistic. Some paintings also attempt to convey emotions, mainly by the way the colors are combined and the brush strokes are applied. This is a modern contemporary approach to art. Many people think this Many people think this approach does not require as much talent as the realistic styles. I will end my writing here. I have tried to make it very boring, and I hope I've succeeded. There are plenty of boring documents available for you to read. Check your public library for more information. You can also find boring materials at the bookstore or on websites. Sometimes this information can be found in magazines, which I mentioned earlier.